What is up, guys? Welcome to another video, and today we're going to be giving you the all you need to know guide on Need for Speed 2015. Now, I am recording this before launch, so if you want to stay up to date with all Need for Speed info, make sure to subscribe to the channel. But this is everything you need to know before launch about Need for Speed 2015. We're going to be talking about the gameplay, we're going to be talking about the dates, we're going to be talking about the consoles, etc, etc. So without further ado, let's get straight into today's video. Okay, so let's get straight into this. So this game is being developed by Ghost Games. It's been published by EA, obviously, and the game comes out November 3rd in America and November 5th in the EU. It comes out on PS4, Xbox One, PC, and has a PEGI rating of 12. Now, everyone who's on Xbox One, they do have an opportunity to get it a week early before their stated release. So if you live in America, you can get it 7 days early prior to November 3rd if you have EA Access, which is a subscription service which allows you to get a bunch of games and get access to games early and in-game discounts and stuff. And that's something completely different. But if you do have that, you can get the game 7 days early. However, this is an Xbox One exclusive and you can't get it for PS4 or PC. Okay, so now I'm sure a lot of you guys have heard this before, but Need for Speed is a complete reboot of the whole series. Basically what it aims to do is bring a lot of the good elements from all the games, smash them into one, and basically kind of give you the Need for Speed mega game, the best Need for Speed so far, the most in-depth and broad Need for Speed experience. The game itself takes some key inspiration from some of the earlier black box games, including Underground, Underground 2, Most Wanted and Carbon, with obviously having in-depth customization, the return of police, and a really in-depth story. The game itself is set in Ventura Bay, which is a recreation of LA. Within this city you have access to the canyons as well as the inner city areas, giving a really varied feel to the environment. As well as this, the car list is absolutely amazing. So, we've had cars such as the M4, the E30 M3, some various Porsche 911s, like we've seen so many, including some of the retro ones, obviously, which one of them is actually stated on the cover, and the thumbnail of this video, funnily enough. We've seen the BRZ, we've seen an R32, we've seen S14s, we've seen a whole selection of cars, Evo 9s. There is a whole bunch of cars that we've seen in trailers so far, and obviously a lot more cars will be given to us over the course of the next few months up until release. And at the moment it looks to be one of the most varied car lists we've seen, especially in an open world Need for Speed, but in addition to that, in Need for Speed in general. I don't think we've seen a Need for Speed that has such a varied car list in a very long time, and it's really nice to see, especially as you can customize each car to your liking, which we will go on to discuss right now. So prior to release, this is what we know in terms of customization to your car. We know you can do body kits. We know that you can actually change each individual bumper on the car if you so choose to. You can change the hood. You can change the headlights, the rear lights. I'm just gonna put them up all on the screen because honestly, if I were to sit here and list all these, we would be here for days. As well as this, all the parts in the game are going to be fully licensed, as well as a few actual ones that are from Ghost Games, the developers. They're going to create a few as well. So you've got a mix of licensed and just kind of made up fiction body kits in the game, which are really cool because obviously there's only so many body kits you can probably find, say for a 2000 GTR. You're gonna have to make a few up, and that's fine, honestly. I mean, Underground 2 did that and I honestly really didn't care too much, but all the rims fully licensed, everything, all of that's fully licensed. As well as that, sound systems again are in the game, which is mad. In addition to this, obviously you've got performance tuning, so that means you can change out engine blocks, exhaust, etc, etc, and there's also tuning in the game, which we shall talk about shortly. But yeah, the actual customization in this game is absolutely tremendous and immense. There are so many pieces of customization, and there's still going to be more announced upon release. We've got ages to release. It releases until November. I'm recording this in August, so we're going to get a lot more information, and make sure to go subscribe to the channel for that. Oh, that was a shameless plug. Anyway, we will go on to tuning. So this time round, you are able to tune your car. Now, this isn't really complicated. Like, you don't have to sort out your toe and your camber and all your fucking how your tire pressures are and stuff. It's pretty simple. There's a slider, and you can either make it really drifty, which kind of has it kind of gives it that kind of Criterion drifting feel, or you can give it to grip. And on the grip side, what it basically does, it makes it feel kind of more like the black box type of game, where you have more control over the car, and you can basically pick using a slider where you want that to go. Now, it's obviously completely up to the player. They can decide whether they want their car to be full grip or full drift. You know, it depends on what you want. As well as this has a few other tuning options which are obviously in the game, and it's great to see because obviously again, this is something that we haven't seen in a while. I mean, you can change, you know, the handling style obviously, and generally, which is obviously the grip thing. You can change if you want to have brake drifting on, the front rear tire pressures, the steer behavior, the differential, the downforce. There's so many things you can change, all in the tuning options, and honestly, it's really kind of quote unquote noob friendly as well from what we've seen so far, which is really good, really good. So yeah, that was the tuning in the game. Okay, so now we're going to go ahead and talk about the elephant in the room, and that's Always Online. Now, I've made a separate video on this, but I will go and talk just a bit in depth about Always Online and the online component of the game. So, yep, Need for Speed 2015 is Always Online. Despite having a few retailers label this as, you know, an offline game, that's 100% false. The game is always online. You will need an internet connection. However, this is only a verification check. You should be able to play the game without an issue if you can watch this YouTube video, for example. If you haven't got an internet connection, or your internet connection is stable, then you know you probably will have an issue. But for the large majority of people, this shouldn't be too big of an issue. In addition to this, All Drive is back from Need for Speed Rivals, which basically allows players to seamlessly blend single player and multiplayer together, so you can actually have players in your single player game. However, if you do want to play on your own, there is a single player option. You just need to have a connection to the internet. So if you do want to go ahead and go into a single player lobby without anyone interrupting you and just playing by yourself, you can do that. You know, there's been a confusion that you can't do that. Also, you don't need PlayStation Plus or Xbox Live to play Need for Speed 2015. To play multiplayer you do, but not to play the core game itself. You just, you know, need a connection. You know, it's same as the Crew. You don't need to have Xbox Live or PlayStation Plus to actually play the game. To play multiplayer, obviously, it's the same as it always has been. You do need the subscription service to play multiplayer. Okay, so now we're going to talk about the driving icons in the game. These are the guys in the career mode that you're going to be trying to get towards. These are the guys that you're going to be trying to impress and basically get their attention. Now, there's 5 unique driving styles: Speed, Style, Build, Crew, and Outlaw. The Speed icon is Magnus Walker. He's basically a big Porsche guy who's hairy. You got the Style icon, which is Ken Block. We all know who Ken Block is. He's really famous for those Gymkhana videos. The Build icon, which is Akari Nakai. He is the guy who makes all the cool RWB Porsches. The Crew icons are the Risky Devil. They're kind of a crew who basically just hoon around and drift everywhere. And the Outlaw is Marahoshi-san. He is I think it's part of the Yakuza in Japan or something ridiculous, and basically he is very wanted. Like, I don't know how else to explain it. He's in the fucking Yakuza, cause he's an outlaw. That's what he's doing. And basically these are the guys that you're gonna try to impress in the game. So say for example for Ken Block, you gotta basically do certain criteria, follow the kind of certain career path, and then eventually you'll get into the boss mission where you will be required to recreate Ken Block's run. You know, move for move, and try to impress him, get his attention. Same for everyone else, and obviously I'm assuming that at the end of the game, once you do all of these icons and once you can basically conquer the city, you will be the ultimate icon and you win the game, basically. Similar to how all the other Need for Speeds were, except this time each there's 5 stories basically, and in those 5 stories you can kind of have a certain mindset to do a certain thing, unlike previous Need for Speeds where you were just kind of winning races and that kind of stuff. So yeah, those are the 5 icons in the game. As well as that, obviously each icon has their own unique vehicle. For example, Ken Block has his Hoonigan, and then obviously Magnus Walker has his 911, etc, etc. Okay, and next we shall talk about Pursuit. So unlike Most Wanted 2005 in Carbon, there isn't heat levels this time. Basically, you're going to be pursued by the police, and it's kind of like a cat and mouse system. So as long as you are in their field of view, they will chase you. And then obviously when you get out of their field of view, you'll go into a cooldown zone where you basically have to stay out of their point of view. It's not like the previous Need for Speed. It's very similar to Rivals, how that works, except heat levels are completely gone. Instead, it's kind of, there is a heat level system there, but it's not explicitly mentioned. You know, it's basically the longer you you are in a pursuit and the more damage you cause, the more serious the police will get. You know, they'll start putting down spike strips and roadblocks. So basically, the more carnage you make, the more angry the police will get, and the more force they will try to put out to try to take you down, if you understand what I mean. There is places in the map where you can kind of avoid pursuit, so if you aren't a big fan of police pursuit, you can completely ignore this. However, if you go into the city areas, there's certain spots where the police are always kind of patrolling, and those are the areas where you guys who don't like pursuits don't want to go. Okay, so post-launch, there is actually a pre-order bonus. Now, with this pre-order bonus, you get the Deluxe Edition, and you get a performance pack, a tricked-out starter car, an exclusive wrap, a unique identifying sticker, the VIP icon, which still has to be announced, a lifetime discount on all items using in-game currency, and a styling pack. I'm not sure if I said that. Basically, you just get some pre-order bonuses. The tricked out star car is actually the M3 GTR we saw in Need for Speed Most Wanted 2005. That was the hero car, you know, one of the most iconic cars in Need for Speed to date. Basically, you unlock it early if you do have the normal version of the game and you don't go ahead and pre-order the Deluxe Edition. You can still get it, you just don't get it early, basically. So you can easily get the M3 GTR if you don't pre-order. It's still available to you. However, if you do pre-order, you just get it early. That's the only difference here. As of now, we don't really know about kind of the physical Deluxe Edition, because I personally, I'm waiting for it to actually come physical over into the UK, but as of now, we don't know. I've seen people contact the Need for Speed Twitter account, and they said the physical copy of the Deluxe Edition is only coming to the US so far. There is Amazon listing suggesting that a UK version could be coming soon, but as of now, the Deluxe Edition physically, it's only going to the US, and you know, it's going to be digital everywhere else around the world. Okay, so with that being said, we'll mention a few things on kind of like a side note. We've mentioned all the main important things. Now we'll go on to some of the minor things in the game which you guys may not know about. So there is no manual transmission in this game, nor can you see the gears that you're on. I know this annoys a lot of people for some reason, but keep in mind, even if manual was in the game, it'd be very similar to how the crew works. It's very hard to use manual in the crew because of how the NOS works. So I guess it's a bad and good thing. I mean, not having that option, I guess it's kind of a bit of a bummer, but for me personally, it doesn't really affect me too much. But the manual transmission is not in this game. As well as this, you can only have 5 cars in your garage at once. This is basically what Ghost are trying to do here with the kind of 5 car limit in your garage. It's very similar to how older Need for Speed did it with Most Wanted and even Underground. They want you to have a connection with the car. You know, I mean, I understand a lot of people love collecting cars and but it's not going to be easy to earn credits in this game. They want you to get attached to a select few cars, and they want you to use those cars to the maximum, upgrade them, and they don't want you to basically go on a big shopping spree like in Forza. This game isn't Forza for those who have come from that kind of background. This is a completely different type of game, and basically what Ghost is trying to do is get you emotionally attached to cars and just basically take you through a career with a select few of your favourite cars in the game. You know, the car list isn't going to be huge. It's not going to be Gran Turismo in the thousands, you know. It's going to be big, but it's not going to be in the thousands. And what Ghost basically want to do is they want to make you have that emotional connection into the game. However, it's very likely that maybe in the future they might add a few more car slots, maybe for in-game money or microtransactions. However they do it, you know, it's up to them. But you know, it's very possible that those garage slots may be extended in the future, but upon launch you're only going to get 5. And that is everything we know about Need for Speed 2015. I tried to say that quite fast. There was a lot of information, but I think I said it all in quite a kind of short time frame for what I said. So if you guys enjoyed, please hit the like, subscribe. If you want to, you know, stay up to date with all Need for Speed information, make sure to go and click that subscribe button down below or wherever it is for you. And I'll see you guys in tomorrow's video. Stay safe, guys, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.
This the kind of beat to go.